Merlinda Malcolm. My mother filed, I am in the F3 category. The I-130 was approved in May 2020. When will I hear from the National Visa Center? I don't know when your mom filed for you. It's not when it was approved, it's when it was filed. When it was filed is the priority date, not when it was approved. So you got to let me know, when was it approved? Dwayne White, do you have to pay to renew your combo card, Uncle Brad? No, you do not. Not if it's based on an adjustment. Support to Children has a question. He says, hi, Uncle Brad. My friend in LPR stayed out of the U.S. for 7.5 months in 2016, returning January 18th, 2017. Can he apply the end of January on the 4-year, 1-day rule? Can he apply for what? Citizenship? There is no 4-year, 1-day rule. If you're talking about citizenship, it's 5 years for citizenship. So if he came back in January 2017, he could apply for citizenship January 18th, 2022, and you can actually put your application in 90 days before January 18th, 2022. Brad, my brother-in-law came to the U.S. on the F2 visa, the spouse of a student. They're divorced now. Can he marry a U.S. citizen in justice status after being out of status? Absolutely. He made a legal entry. He absolutely can. Jane Greaseback. Hi, Uncle Brad. I got the I-360 approval and filed the I-824. What would be the next step? I'm outside of the United States. The I-824 is to transfer your file from USCIS to the National Visa Center for visa processing. So you have to file that I-824 to transfer the file. Once you get at the National Visa Center, they're going to send you biographic data forms. You do not need an affidavit of support or anything. But hopefully you didn't overstay your time, because then you may need a waiver for the 10-year bar. Nevertheless, once your case gets to the National Visa Center, that's when the visa processing will start. Can my mother file for me if I'm overstay my visa? I'm over 21. My mom's a green card holder. Sure, she can. It's going to take years. We don't know what's going to happen at the end of the case. We don't know whether you'll be able to adjust your status here or go home. But yeah, put in an I-130 for sure. Let's see what happens down the line. Hi, Uncle Brad. How long the processing of filing asylum from the detention? Those go pretty fast, 6 months or so. Rosemito Valer. How long the whole process is taking for sister or brother? The whole process is taking 15 years right now. Muwanaka Salim. Hey, Brad, what happens when you send a check with an excess amount of money to USCIS? I asked this because of the injunction issued by the Northern District of California. If you don't send the exact amount of money to USCIS, you send too much, you send too little, they're going to send back the entire case, unfortunately. I got my 10-year green card in 2019. Can I file for my 10-year-old son who overstayed his visa and is the country with me on my own, as my husband is not willing to help? If yes, what is the process? You could file an I-130, wait to become a citizen, adjust, or you can also do a SIJ. AJ, has the fees increased? No, they're back to the old fees. There's an injunction. I just applied for citizenship. I was arrested for controlled substance 6 years ago, and I received an ACD case was dismissed. Do I have to worry about anything? If it was more than 6 years ago and the case was dismissed, you do not have to worry about anything because it's more than 5 years, good moral character. How many times can USCIS extend my prima facie before making a final decision on my VAWA case? They haven't asked for any more evidence. Forever. They can do it forever. Shanti Singh, is taking unemployment benefits a public charge? No, it's not. Jessica Omo, how long after the interview is scheduled does it take to get a notice mailed to you? It could be a week, it could be the rest of your life. They're supposed to do it in 120 days, but who says they ever follow the laws? Hi, Brad. Can someone who was arrested but never charged with a crime and the arrest was deemed not to have occurred eligible to apply for N400? Absolutely. Wisdom Maliki. Hi, Brad. Can I travel to supervise a job outside the USA for the company that employed me here in the US using my combo card while I'm waiting for my interview? Yes, but don't stay out for more than 2 to 3 weeks. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.